Morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. My name is Jeff Warner, and I'm the chief of the Alma Police Department. We've called you here today to report a significant development in the investigation of the 1995 kidnapping of Morgan Day. You'll recall that Morgan was kidnapped from a parking lot of the Alma Little League ball field, just about a block away from here, around 10:45 p.m. on June the 9th, 1995. A suspect description was provided, as was a description of a red truck with a white camper shell that was allegedly involved. Since then, we, along with allied local, state, and federal law enforcement officials, have spent thousands of hours working more than 10,000 leads in this case. One of the early persons of interest in this case was Billy Jack Lincks. Lincks was arrested for sexual solicitation of a child on August 29, 1995 in Van Buren, Arkansas. On that occasion, Lincks tried to lure an 11-year-old girl into his red pickup truck. This was roughly 12 weeks after Morgan's disappearance. Police questioned Lincks on August 31st, 1995. He denied any knowledge of Morgan's abduction and at that time appeared to be truthful. Investigators at that time moved on. In July 2019, then Alma Police Department Lieutenant Brett Hartley decided to go back to the beginning of this case to review the case from the beginning. During that process, Lieutenant Hartley spoke with an individual who provided information inspiring him to revisit the possibility that Billy Jack Lincks might be Morgan's abductor. Investigators worked to locate the truck Lincks owned in 1995, and we were able to contact the current owner of that truck. We determined that the owner had no knowledge of Lincks. He gave permission for us to examine the truck for evidence at that time. To that end, investigators arranged for the FBI Evidence Response Team to examine the truck, and they did so on July the 28th, 2020. Among the collection methods the team used was that of vacuuming various locations within the vehicle. In doing so, they produced several vacuum canisters containing various forms of matter, including hair, from the vehicle. Upon completion of the collection process, the FBI retained custody of the evidence. In July 2023, Detective Sean Taylor with the Alma Police Department learned of advanced analysis processes that's available at Ortham Laboratory, which is based in Texas. Detective Taylor conferred with a representative of the lab and learned, among other things, they have been successful in developing DNA profiles from hair with or without roots. On September 11, 2023, Detective Taylor conferred with an FBI agent to discuss the possibility of sending this trace evidence to Ortham Labs. On September 27, 2023, Detective Taylor received a package containing this evidence from the FBI, which was originally from the red truck. On December 1st, 2023, Detective Taylor sent this evidence to Ortham Laboratory for testing. It's at that time that I wish to express my sincere thanks to the Arkansas State Police for providing the funding that was necessary to perform this analysis. On September 27, 2024, Ortham Laboratory sent a report to Detective Taylor stating in essence that they determined that the hair contained in the evidence that was submitted for analysis was that of Colleen Nick, one of her siblings or one of her children. We spent the next few days doing follow-up interviews with members of the Nick family, which revealed that none of them knew Billy Jack Lincks, and that none of them had been in a truck that was similar to this one. The bottom line in this is that the physical evidence collected from the truck that Lincks owned when Morgan was abducted strongly indicates that Morgan had been in this truck. Billy Jack Lincks died in the year 2000. I think the most important thing here is Morgan is still missing. But we've reached a point where we can concentrate on one suspect to determine the circumstances surrounding Morgan's abduction. How was she taken from the ball field? What happened next? Did Lincks have help in abducting Morgan or concealing his crime all these years? And where is Morgan now? I can tell you today that this investigation is not over. It is ongoing and active. In the wake of this development, we're working to expand our understanding of Lincks and his activities. This includes, for example, additional interviews and re-interviews of known associates, and locating any additional physical evidence. This is where we need your help. We ask that every member of the public who might have information that can help answer these questions contact us at 1-800-THE-LOST, which is the number for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. It's 1-800-843-5678. This time we will take a few questions.
Chief, what's the next step on this? And I guess what other information are you still investigating, or is there other evidence that you're still investigating at this point?
Well, like I explained, we want to go back and see if there's any more evidence that can be located. Our next step is refocusing on Mr. Lincks, his activities, and any unknown associates of his at that time.
Have you checked his old house in disappearance?
There's been some investigations that have been done there, yes.
Is Billy Jack Lincks being declared as an actual suspect?
As of today, for the first time that I'm aware of in this case, I'm calling Billy Jack Lincks a suspect in Morgan's abduction.
And as of right now, he's the only person, correct?
He is.
Talk about two things. Nearly 30 years later, that's incredible that you've been able to have this evidence analyzed. Talk about that for me.
Well, I'm not going to stand here and try to answer scientific questions because I don't understand them. The fact is, a laboratory that does this kind of testing has confirmed that this evidence was located in the truck. It took them a while to get some results, just because you just said it's been almost 30 years, and so the fact that the evidence was degraded, so that it did take some time to provide those results.
And then Lincks still has family in this area, in this region today. Have they been cooperative?
The family that we have talked to has been cooperative, yes.
How confident are you that this is going to lead to her whereabouts?
I can't answer that right now. We hope that that's the end result, to be able to bring Morgan home.
You mentioned looking at whether he acted alone. Are there any indications that he didn't act alone, or how are you looking into those things?
Well, there's still, as I mentioned, it's still active and ongoing. We don't know if he acted alone or if he had someone with him. those are some things that we want to go back and try to find out just by mainly interviews and re-examining some of the evidence.
Is there anything that's pointed to that possibility?
As of right now, we have no indication of that, but again, that's something that I can't answer for sure right now.
Are there any more, I'm trying to refresh my memory, bring me up to speed, I believe it was reported that some people reported a possible red truck, possibly this person in the Kibler area had a river access location. Is there any more information with that? Am I correct when I said that not long after the disappearance or matching his description of that truck there?
Yes, there was, if you guys remember, as I know most of you do, there was a lot of reports of this red truck at various locations around that time.
Do you believe that's founded, that report that you received about that truck at that location?
We believe that several of the locations has been confirmed.
Do you know how many hands this truck has been passed over, or has it just been a direct sale to the last person?
It has had a few owners in between.
And are those like recorded sales, or is that cash on the table type?
No, it's recorded sales.
Did you say you only found one piece of hair, or were there multiple?
It's my understanding there was multiple hairs found, but there was one of them that these results came from.
And has the hair been tested before and now retested?
I can't answer that for sure, but it's my understanding that this hair has never been tested.
As of now, has anyone come forward with additional information about Lincks that maybe said, told me about this? Has anybody else, I know we put this out there, last year, a couple of years ago, asking for information about Lincks. Between now and then, has anybody come forward with more information specifically about him?
We have gotten some information on Lincks, but it's not the answer we need. All the information that we've received has been very helpful to this point, but we need more, and that's the purpose of this conference today.
What kind of information are you looking for? Someone who knew him or was in
Yes.
the area?
Someone that knew him, maybe a witness that has never said anything, maybe someone that he told something to that has never told anyone.
Chief, prior to the arrest in Van Buren, did he have a criminal record in his past?
Yes, he did.
Was it extensive?
Not to my knowledge. I know he had a previous arrest here in Crawford County a few years prior.
And I know you looked at him extensively. Can you just simply tell us about Lincks when he lived in this area, briefly about him? Who might have known? I don't know. Tell me about him.
Well, Lincks was from Crawford County. He had retired from the Texas area and moved to Crawford County, and I'm not sure of those dates, but like I said, he was retired. He was, so he was around this area. Had some family around this area. That kind of what you're asking.
Yeah, he lived here for some time. How long? I don't know. I'm just trying to find out more about who this person was. I don't know what his profession was. Or how long was he here? Just generally, who might have known, who he hang out with, tell us about.
It's my understanding, and again, I don't have those dates in front of me right now, but he had lived in the Crawford County area for several years, and it's to my knowledge that he was retired.
What was his age at the time of death?
His age at that time would have been, I believe, 72 years old.
Now that he's passed, does this open a whole portfolio on him of looking into his past and other databases to see any, leads to this, or just looking into his past, helping this investigation?
Yes, we're looking into his past. We're hoping that someone has the missing puzzle that we need that can come forward.
We know that he did a attempted kidnapping. Have we talk with that family just to see if he mentioned anything of where they would take her or any leads of where they would?
Yes, that investigation has been looked at.
Moving forward, what kind of law enforcement presence will be dedicated to this case?
Well, obviously, we have someone that's dedicated to this case. Alma's a small department, but some of us multitask, but we do have an investigator that's dedicated to this case. We have a part-time investigator that's dedicated to this case and this case only. We have good allies with the local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies that has offered any assistance that we need.
Is it safe to say this is the most significant breakthrough we've had in 29 years?
In my opinion, yes.
Just for clarification, it's just that you have Morgan Lincks associated with the truck and with Link, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Link's had, you don't have any evidence at this point that Link's actually did something to it. Is that right?
That is correct. We believe strongly that Morgan was in this truck.
Has the LEO or any officials have they searched Link's property?
There have been some searches done in the past, yes.
Anything that links him to that ballpark in the past or that particular evening?
Not to my knowledge, other than some sightings of a similar pickup, if not the truck, in the area.
Okay, one last question.
Was there any other evidence found inside that truck that ties Morgan to the truck over the hair?
I can't answer that right now because I'm honestly not sure what all evidence was collected out of that truck. It was processed by the FBI evidence response team. We were present for that, but there was some evidence that was tested by the FBI, and so some of that is that I don't know.
Chief, I see you're joining state police, local prosecutor, FBI. This is everybody who's actively assisting with this. Is that correct? Did I miss anybody?
As I mentioned, the state police was a big help in funding this testing. So they're here with us today as assisting us and have offered their resources for us.
Do any members like to talk?
Not at this time. I'm going to turn it over to Colleen that wants to say something.
There have been an army of supporters and advocates and heroes who have rallied to uncover the truth about Morgan's disappearance, and you see those people here in this room today. And what I have to say about Billy Jack Lincks is that he stole Morgan from me. He stole her from her dad. And he stole her from Logan and Taryn. But he didn't see that he could never win. Because our love for Morgan, her memory and her voice outlasted his life. And that love continues to shine. Her heart, Morgan's heart shines on.
Again, we appreciate you guys being here today. Any media questions are going to be routed to the Arkansas State Police Public Information Officer. Again, thank you.